The Benteng. The drunken mistake's turbocharged motor churns through the water, leaving a trail of frothy sea behind you. The Aberdeen docks quickly recede into the distance, and Jomo powers you steadily into international waters. In the back of the boat, Key stands alone, one hand cupped over her ear, shouting into her comlink. You can't make out what she's saying over the roar of the drunken mistake's engines, but from the expression on her face, it isn't going well. Jomo throttles down the engines, nervously staring into the water just beyond the speedboat's hull. You soon discover why. Sea mines. With careful precision, the pirate steers the nimble craft around them, aided only by his skill and a handful of Indonesian curses. As Jomo pilots you through the minefield, a jagged shape in the distance begins to grow larger. It's huge, a slab-like ship, surrounded by a number of smaller vessels. Grinning, the pirate... I've never seen it do that before. You step onto the converted barge with unsteady legs. The deck rocks with the rolling motion of the waves, and you can hear the slap of water against the hull below your feet. The air here is permeated with the smells of engine oil and diesel fumes, all intermixed with the sweat of sailors and the sweet aroma of roasting amberjack. Welcome aboard the Benteng, the jewel of the Loholoa fleet. You'll be safe here, safer than you were in the impound yard in Haoi or at your mother's teat. Nothing enters these waters without Captain Utama's permission. Creighton and her people don't need to enter the water to hurt us. They have aircraft and drones at their disposal. Oh, this worries you? Take it from me, Ranneko. It shouldn't. Look around you, see for yourself. In the distance, a cluster of enormous guns rise above the Benteng's deck. Heavy artillery coupled with a group of old model Ares CWIS systems, millions of million worth of restricted military hardware, all bound to a creaky barge with the resale value of a mid-range sedan. The seabed beneath your feet is littered with the carcasses of drones and aircraft. They all met their doom to the roar of the Benteng's mighty guns. Sheets of flying lead tore wings from fuselages, ripped through cockpits, threaded parachutes to tattered rags. And the waters she protects are no safer for our enemies. Envision the seabed far beneath your feet. New life springs from the bones of patrol craft, coral of 1,000 hues, sprouting like wheat from the bloated corpses of those fools that have dared to trespass here. Our minds make short work of those who approach by sea. An elvish crewman steps forward and claps a hand on the York's shoulder. His voice comes out in a breathy rumble. Jomo speaks the truth, ShadowRan. Nothing can approach this ship and live. I don't doubt it. You got some impressive hardware over there. Perceptive. I like that. Captain Utama is waiting for you below decks. In your place, I would not keep her waiting long. Teo speaks the truth, friends. Captain Utama is a delightful woman, possessed of many virtues, but patience is not one of them. We should be on our way. What about my crew? They will wait for you in the rusted hulk that you call a home, the one that the corporate people towed here. It's over there. The Kraken is here, but she isn't seaworthy. How did you... I made some calls. Amazing how much freight can move with the tugboat and a couple of industrial lifting cranes. Must be nice being able to call in favors from a megacorp on a whim. It didn't happen on a whim, believe me. My relationship with corporate is beyond strained at the moment. You can tell your friends later. Now go to Utama and be quick about it. I tell you this for your own good. He's right. Wait for me at the Kraken. We'll catch up after I'm done with the tour. As you say, friend, I shall inspect the Kraken to see if anything was damaged during transit. Ranneko, you're with me. We have a captain to meet. Okay, so, now. A pirate's life for me is the achievement we got for reaching here. But far more important. Way more important. Like, super important. So, we now have 17 karma, which is more karma than I ever thought we would get. So if I boost this to 8, we actually have an effective 9 because of the Bioware we got. And we actually did have a use for money. So there was, I probably should have stopped and looted maybe a little bit more. But limited initiative passes made that kind of tricky. So I can grab this for 8, leaving me with 9 left. And then what I could do is... if I went this, what does that do? Maximum physical, it like increases my body, obviously. Alright. Okay, so I'd need way more karma. I'd need, okay, revert. If I did, I still couldn't reach that point. Yeah, I mean... So, what I think I want to do is I want to get this, and I want to grab security or gang. Let's grab gang. Probably be more immediately useful. I want to grab this, and then I think that's all the karma we're going to bother spending. I mean, it's actually, there's no... Well, I guess I could pick up a quickness skill or a strength skill. Like, I could actually get a little bit of unarmed, since it's like the only thing I could potentially use. But, nah. Why would I? Yeah, no, that's what we're going to do. We're going to grab those two. Done. Last of the karma for the campaign. So, where are we going? Meet Captain Utama. Why you let me zoom out and then force me to zoom back in a little? That's a bit odd. Okay. Benteng interior. There's your break room. That's a nice set of food you got there. And you know, I mean, I guess we'll explore this. Captain Utama. A weathered troll with a relaxed posture and a commanding presence dominates the cabin. Her face is serious, but her jewel-colored eyes glint with curiosity as she runs them over you. It is an honor to introduce you to Captain Utama, our most gracious and benevolent host. My captain, I thank you for your generous hospitality. I remain your humble servant and offer my deepest respect. Straighten your damn back, Jomo. Pay your respects if you must, but I got no use for men who bow and scrape. Jomo's back snaps straight, and he hurriedly retreats to his original position. His smile remains as relaxed as ever, but you can't help but notice the bead of perspiration that traces its way down his forehead. The captain shifts her gaze back to you, studying your face through eyes the color of dirty ice. A smile slowly creeps across her face, twisting the scar across her lips into a second grin. As for you, ShadowRunner, you're welcome aboard the Benteng. Mind my rules, and you may stay with us as long as you wish. We appreciate your hospitality, Captain Utama. You're doing us a tremendous favor. I do you no favor, my boy. My hospitality was bought and paid for, not given. Look to your friend. She wrote the check. Savor this moment, Ranneko. You're looking at the end results of me calling in the very last of my favors with corporate. My hospitality's not given, ShadowRunner. It's rented. Now, before you get settled in, there's a small matter we must discuss. I'm listening. This is my ship. Your friend here has paid your passage, yes, but if you prove to be a disruptive presence on this vessel, I will not hesitate to have you tossed overboard. Unless you relish the idea of swimming with awakened sharks and active minds, you will mind your manners during your stay. Don't worry, I'll say already sails here. I certainly hope so. You wouldn't be the first guest I've had to put over the side. All the splashing, the screaming, is quite distracting to the men working on the deck. They won't make a peep, Captain Utama, I promise. This is going to be home for the foreseeable future. We've got nowhere else to go, and I'm fresh out of strings to pull. We get Mitsuhama something we can use, something irrefutable, or we resign ourselves to life on the open sea. Then, we find them something they can use. That's right, we do, and we start with Lamb's PDA. Meet me at my command trailer. We're going to crack that thing, and we're going to find some answers. Okay. Let's see. Do you want to chat? Captain's wheelhouse. Captain swirls a clear yellow-tinted liquid around the interior of the thick glass. You watch her grab a pinch of what looks like salt from a small open dish and carefully sprinkle it into the cup. Her voice is hard when she addresses you, but her eyes remain locked on the drink, which she continues to swish around in ever-tightening circles. Getting acquainted with the Benteng, are we? Good. I hate drinking alone. Water? Oh, I'll have what you're having. Oh, are you sure? No questions asked. I don't like the way you said that. Just what are you drinking? Damn, I thought I could have a little fun with you. It's guava juice, not that concentrated squills from the convenience store. This is real, squeezed in an orchard from the Yenlong district. No chemicals, no preservatives, just juice. What brings you here? Something in your mind, ShadowRunner? Notice a small source of power on the wet bar. What is it? What do you think it is? I don't know. I saw you sprinkle it into your drink, though. Spent the better part of my life on the open ocean. They say when you first start sailing, you gotta earn your sea legs, otherwise a rolling sickness will get you. I never did that. I never had to. Had my sea legs from the first time I ever set foot on a boat. Didn't realize it could catch up with you, though. Seems as I get older, my stomach roils with the waves more and more. That's just an emetic. Keeps me from turning green on the job. You ever find yourself in need of some, you help yourself to my stash. But don't overdo it. A little goes a long way. And what's it like to be a lady pirate? Got its ups, got its downs. Many sailing men, captains, and crews alike view female seafarers with a critical eye. We're always at a disadvantage. Glare has even landed on me from time to time. Never mind the fact I'm one of the best damned sea pirates ever to grace these ports of this sorry planet. I have to make a display of my power just before I'm assumed to have it. On the other hand, the same vein, we're often underestimated and it can work to our advantage. I'll never demean myself to gain the upper hand, but I will use a man's idiocy against him. There's no shame in that. At the end of the day, I wouldn't change things. It's a good life and I wouldn't trade it for anything. Well, gotta go. Nice little bit of flavor. Like, I had assumed that we were reaching the end. So, yep, we can't level the characters anymore. So I guess there's nothing to actually do here. I'm just curious as to why it's present. I guess so we could review it. Quick look in here. Andre. Racks of medical supplies and cybernetic components line the walls. So this is where we can get ourselves cybered up. I'm interested. Name's Andre, and I'm in the ware business. I got a large inventory if you're interested in buying. You got a minute for answers? Yes? What kind of answers? Who are you? Relax, I'm just new to this whole pirating thing. I'd like to ask you about it. Sorry, those who roll with pirates often have a long, colourful history. And Lord knows I do. It sounds like you're carrying a lot of baggage. Yeah, I suppose if you're here you would. Isn't a terribly exciting story? Let's just say I got a few creditors after my ass and leave it at that. So how'd you end up here? You really want to know? Got nothing better to do. Alright, why not? The Johor Loa appear to be sold on the value of Shadowrunners, so they must have information I don't. But if they trust you, that's all I need. Well, where to begin? I was a physician back in Russia, worked in the trauma ward, emotionally grueling profession. One thing led to another, and I got myself hooked on beetle chips. That's where the debt comes in. A lot of debt. So much debt. No way I could pay it back in my lifetime. Given my options, I decided time for a do-over, so I left my old life behind. Well, I tried to. Seems no matter where I went, creditors were always right on my tail. All the way up until I fled to Indonesia, and there I met Captain Utama and her sailors. The rest is history. Ah, what did your recruitment here end up costing you? You're a sharp one, eh? Price of my asylum here was 10 years of indentured servitude as the onboard cyber surgeon. At the same time, I thought the deal pretty manageable. But continuing my habit has driven up those 10 years of service to 30. Truth is, I may die before I ever repay the captain, but let me tell you, indentured service among the Loho Joa, beats the hell out of being a debtor back in the motherland. Got more here than I could have ever hoped for in my old life. Ah, well. Lucky. Hey, you said you sell cyberware, right? Oh, let's see what you got. Is there anything new? No, I don't think so. Didn't think that would be the case. So, and we could potentially grab something, but we don't need anything or want anything. And our body slot's full, so it'd have to be arm, leg, or cyber weapon. And a shockhand would be kind of funny, but we don't have any use for that. We could get the arm. We could get the skill wires, but again, don't need it. Could get the autoloader, but again, don't need it. Oh right, it would auto reload the guns we don't use. Don't need that, do we? We could get ourselves a cyber weapon, which we already could do, and we don't want. Yeah, no, I mean we're not actually invested in strength, so this would do basically nothing. Shockhand would be marginally useful. That's about it. Alright, see you. But it's important for them to give us a vendor. Let's check this door. What do we see? None. And this one. I love how they just have an excuse to bring the boat along. And you can tell why. Because otherwise they need to build a... Well, you'd think... Actually, no. That's not true. You can't tell why exactly. You'd think they could just build another environment for you to get to and look at all your stash. And I'm sure they could. But maybe they like that continuity. And I think it may be that they valued that for the player as well. Hey, Constable. Hui. Just because I'm standing here doesn't mean I'm not busy. Just passing by. Alright, okay. So this is the task force. So she took some or all of the task force with her? That seems a bit odd. Friendly orc. Hey, stranger. Always nice to see a new face out here. Nice to meet you too. Part of the crew? Who, me? Nah, man. I was just hanging out here till my next job. Know some of the crew, and it's a good transit hub if you're looking to go places by ship and stay off the official record. Pretty cool place, truth be told. Name's Garrick, by the way, wandering swordsman. Does being a wandering swordsman pay well? Can't complain, keeps food in my stomach and clothes on my back. I'm my own boss, and I can choose to take or turn down jobs wherever I please. Seems like a stupid way to live, but I kinda like it. It's like a messed up storybook adventure, you know? Yeah, neat. I'm sorry. I probably should get more into the backstories there, but I don't want to deal with it. There's Sergeant Long. There's Tug. Over here is the anti-air weaponry. There's the quartermaster. Right, gotcha. Triple Alpha. Yeah, those... I don't want to talk to them. I'm sorry. I just don't. And this is... Yeah. So they treat it as if we are not on a pirate ship. Which is crazy, because we're on a pirate ship. Come on. That's a pretty major thing. Okay. Let's go to the Kraken. Have a chat with people. And then... Yeah. Well, everything seems to be more or less in one piece. Did you and Key get anything figured out? More to the point, you know who we're fighting yet? Not yet. She wants me to meet her to go over what we have. Might as well get to it because we got nothing. Oh, and Ryan? Hurry, these choppy waters are doing a number on my stomach and I'm fresh out of Dramamine. Okay, so that's basically, hey, no, seriously, just go and talk to what's-her-face. To Key. And I'm almost certainly pronouncing her name wrong, but whatever. I picked one and we went with it. Key's command trailer is strangely peaceful. The crew of systems experts that formerly manned the multitude of terminals inside are nowhere to be found, and on the omnipresent hum of the trailer's computer banks has fallen silent. The senior inspector glances up from her desk, half turning to face you. Good, you hear? The sentence trails to nothing. She squeezes her eyes shut, wincing. Her hands go up to rub her temples. You okay? Will be. Migraine. Feels like someone lit a fire behind my eyes. If I were you, I'd get that checked out. At time I must have a doctor stashed away somewhere. Nobody has as many headaches as you do. The drain's still bothering you? It's one way of putting it. It feels like it's driving a railroad spike through my temples. The necklace I was wearing didn't help matters much. Damn thing masked my order just fine, but it wasn't particularly easy to carry. So the necklace made your headaches worse? Yeah, it hurt to use, like looking through lenses scanned to someone else's prescription. Drain from the spellcasting hurt more too. Truth is, I've been in constant pain for the last couple of months. Cost of doing business, I guess. That way you've been so short-tempered? Well, some of that was just me, but the pain didn't hurt any. I'm still recovering from the impact of wearing that thing for months on end. Soaked up some nasty drain breaking us out of that trap. Not 100%, I probably won't be for months. Alright, maybe, don't need to do it 100%. I'm in the room with Crate and I'll handle the rest. Might have to come to that, but let's hope it doesn't. Okay, we got a job to do. Hang on, a couple of things I want to discuss with you before we get into this. Yeah, okay. I owe you some answers. Go ahead. Say what you want to say. Got my attention. Okay. You told Lamb you suspected Ku, but not him. Why? Because he was an idealist, a damn cheerleader, truth be told. He was always moralizing, going on about the standards we got to hold ourselves to. He used to harp on and on about transparency and accountability, and how it was supposed to serve the public first and the council second. So, he was lying to you then, and you bought it. Yeah, obviously I bought it. Yeah, I bought it. Obviously I made a mistake. That's something else I wanted to ask about. You're keeping secrets on them. I want to make sure you aren't keeping any more from me. If I had any more surprises in store, I'd have sprung them on you already, but I don't. Look, I'm pissed off, I'm hurt, I'm tired, and I'm scared to death of what's coming. All I want to do is lie down and sleep for a month, but that isn't an option either. Alright, let's look at the PDA. Go ahead, fish the thing out. I'm ready when you are. You fish Lamb's PDA out of the evidence bag that Key had you put it in. It's in bad shape, the case is warped and bent, but the screen winks on at your command. The display is streaked with Lamb's dry blood. It looks like red gelatin, thin and watery. You can just make out the text underneath. Browser file system. Okay, so we start with the junk mail folder. It's packed to the gills with all manner of unsolicited messages, scam mail, advertisements, etc. It'd take days to sort through this to find anything useful, and probably expose the PDA to a whole bunch of nasty worms and viruses. Ugh. Remind me to never open my own junk folder. Let's search for tagged messages. So Project Zeta. Nope. Zeta. HKPF. Okay, fine. Main menu. Search the trash bin. Looks like there's a file buried in it. He intended to get rid of it, but he didn't get around to it. Okay, so instructions upstairs. Mr. Ku tells me you've accepted our offer. Welcome aboard. Once you've delivered Key, report to me and we'll have you relocated to the Typo facility. You'll be safe there. We have the location under 24-hour guard for obvious reasons. From there on out, all you'll need to do is keep your head down and count your money. You keep up your end and you'll soon be a very wealthy and influential man. If Crate's client, whoever it is, has something worth guarding in Typo, that's what we need to check out next. Keep going. This is good intel, but we need to get everything out of this PDA we can. So junk mail, search, Typo. Wait. We look here. Instructions. Oh, right. Typo as in two separate things. So. Hey, there we go. One file found. Good catch, Ranneko. Keep your mouth shut. From Ku to Lamb. Keep your mouth shut. Don't make me regret the fact I brought you onto this team. Quit haranguing Crate with your high-minded bullshit. She's a busy woman and she doesn't want to hear it. Crate is a businesswoman. She isn't in this to change things. She just wants to get paid. If you keep harping on about what the people need, you're going to piss her off and then we'll both land on a shit list. I get you have ideals. I respect them. But the people, repeat this to yourself until it sinks in. The people aren't paying us. Ares is. We do what they say, and sometimes that means hurting people. Sack up and deal with it. Shit. If this is true, we got problems. Ares Macro Technology is even bigger than Mitsuhama, and Ares Asia Holdings has a major presence on the Executive Council. Remember, Lamb, everything we're doing is for the greater good. Just wait until you see what's happening in Typo with your own eyes. The change you're looking for is coming, and as long as everything goes according to plan, it'll be here before you know it. Play it cool and everything will be just fine. Obviously, whoever we were up against was going to have access to money and resources. I expected that. But Ares, well, that's a damn near a worst-case scenario for us. Keep reading if you want. I have to think about this for a minute. Okay, live chat folder. Ranneko. Read the chat exchange. Did you authorize a second mind probe of Nguyen while he was unconscious? I'm looking at the transcript of his interview, and he insists two majors were screwing around with his brain last night. No, I was against having him scanned in the first place, remember? Why would I give authorization for two different majors to poke around in his brain? I don't know. Maybe you wanted two sets of findings to check against one another. I know you have trust issues where magic is concerned. I didn't authorize anything, Lamb, and unless we have a second magical interrogator I don't know about on the task force, I'm going to go ahead and assume he's making it up. So, what? You want to just dismiss this? You don't think it warrants further investigation? In a perfect world, I'd tell you to knock yourself out, but right now, in the world we live in, there's no time for it. We're too close to Crate to go hunting for a mystery mage who may or may not exist. The council doesn't want any more delays, Lamb. Neither does Mitsuhama, so drop it and do your job. I don't want to have to tell corporate about this. Alright, Fee, you win, for now, but this discussion isn't over. Yeah, Lamb, it is. Keep going, Ranneko. Let's see what else there is to see. Okay, check the outbox. Read the first message. Okay, I'm in. Alright, cool. I've reconsidered your proposal. I want in. You're right. She's a lost cause. She's corporate to the bone, and trying to argue with her is like talking to a brick wall. She doesn't give a damn about what the HKPF is supposed to stand for. All that matters to her is the company's bottom line. Oh, fuck you, you little weasel. At least I don't turn on my own people for a paycheck. It's funny, I used to be such an idealist. I joined the HKPF because I wanted to help people. But that isn't what this organization is about, regardless of what the recruiters say. Good cops don't have a place in Mitsuhama's police force. The corp cultures of the HKPF either changes them if they're weak or chews them up if they're strong. Either way, they wind up broken, and I can't be part of the machine anymore. The big changes you're talking about, it's a chance to fix things. A real, honest-to-God chance. So as much as I hate your methods, I'm going to help you. I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it because I want the HKPF to be better. This is a chance to make that happen. A remote chance, maybe, but better than nothing. Big change. What's a big change he wants to happen? I don't know, but I don't like the sound of it. Tell Crate I'm in. I can bring you key. I can help you dismantle this task force. But you should know that if you've been bullshitting me, if you don't change for the better, I'm coming after you. You can count on that. Tough talk. Think you could have backed it up? Lamb? No, not in a million years. Fool would have got himself killed one way or another. Still, we learned something here. Lamb was convinced Crate and her people were working on a big change. Ominous words. Okay, justice. Irene, I know you have every reason to hate the police, but hear me out. What happened to your family was wrong. I'm going to do everything I can to make it right. I can't bring your husband back, but I can help make sure that the constables who killed him pay for their crimes. Big changes are coming, I promise. Between then and now, please, let me cover your mortgage payments. I've recently come into a large sum of money, and I want you to have it. Consider it a show of good faith until I can bring you the justice you deserve. I don't know anything about this. It must have been related to some old case of Lamb's from before he got assigned to the task force. Maybe it was a personal thing, a friend of his, or a romantic interest. It was someone he cared about, that much is clear. Sounds like Lamb blamed HKPF's culture for the woman's family tragedy. Personal crusades have been started for less. Yeah, sure. Ripping up people responsible for the Kowloon City massacre out of guilt, though? What kind of ass-backwards thinking is this? Kind that idealists, let's see, maybe he feels the ends justified the means. Whole thing raises more questions than answers. Let's see what else we can find. Okay, I'm going to go for the inbox, because that is a suspicious thing. Package delivery. Everything's ready on our end. Now you just have to deliver the package before the wildcard leaves the evidence room, or the whole thing's going to get a message. And the package, I guess, making me the wildcard. What an idiot. If he wanted to speak in code, he could have been less obvious about it. If things do get messy, it's your ass, Lamb. Crate wants us to go by the numbers, and that means both the package and wildcard caught in the same trap. Can't chance the package catching a bullet before we question her, and a firefight in the hallway could raise questions. You know your job. Do it well and you'll get what you promised. Things didn't go the way they planned. Crate must be pissed. Hope she's furious. Hell, I hope she chokes on it. The second message? Mr. Lamb, as much as I appreciate your concern for the citizens of Hong Kong, it is not your place to question my tactics. The behavior of the SDU is none of your concern. The changes you hope to see will never come about when Mitsuhama is viewed favorably by the Executive Council. Our client wants to see its reputation tarnished, and a certain amount of heavy-handedness on our part is necessary to make that happen. It's all part of the plan, Senior Inspector. You do your job, and let me do mine. Alright, so that's where Crate and her people come into this. Massacre at the end of the Kowloon City riots, police brutality that led to the riots in the first place. They're all intended to hurt Mitsuhama's PR. But what's the end game? Could be taking out civil authority. Could be the first stage of a military coup. Maybe. Let's keep reading. Okay, and now we'll check the outbox, and I think we've got everything at that point. Third message. This message has been corrupted. A meaningless stream of garbled text fills the screen. Okay, I'm in. Alright, I think that's everything we're getting. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe you're right. Key turns a PDA over in her hand, then flips the device's power switch. The screen flickers and dies. She rubs her eyes, drawing her attention to the dark colors beneath them. Alright, so here's what we've got. Crate and her people are working for Ares. They're trying to tank Mitsuhama's reputation with the Executive Council so that they can bring about some kind of change inside the HKPF. They've got a facility in Taipo that they're keeping under heavy guard, presumably related to the change in some way. Sounds about right. It isn't much, but it's something. At least we know who's holding Crate's leash. The answer to that question isn't particularly comforting, but it's better than not knowing at all. Okay. So here's a million question. Is this enough to take to the Executive Council? I don't think so. Like I told you before, my credibility is pretty low at this point. I don't think anyone on the Council is likely to risk pointing the finger at Ares without more proof to go on. I'll call him, but I can't make any promises. Go back to your boat, Ranneko. Talk to your team. I'll call you when I know more. Alright, sounds good. Yep, we're gonna go take on Ares in Taipo. And then I assume we will finish this thing. Hey again, welcome back. You find anything of use? Yeah, we're up against Ares. That's not what I was hoping to hear. Ares is serious business. What's next? We can't exactly take the fight to them. We aren't equipped for that. Well, they're up to something in Taipo. My guess is that's where we'll be headed next. We have a target. Good. I would very much like to bring this episode to a close. Your PDA buzz is cutting him off. Key, answer the call. Key's face flickers onto the PDA screen. She looks haggard, even more so than before. Call was a bust, Ranneko. Still got a few execs willing to go to bat for me, the rest have already written us off as a failure. No one's going to risk antagonizing Ares on my say-so. We're going to need a hell of a lot more than one misfiled email if we're going to convince them to move on this. Figures. I guess we're headed to Taipo. Yeah, looks that way. Look, Ranneko, I told you you and your team would be well compensated for helping me, but I never specified exactly what your reward would be. I think you should know. You got my attention. We'll start with the bad news. Can't put a monetary value on what your team will receive. Truth be told, I'm going to have to wrestle with corporate to get anything out of them. A lot of them think the cost of running out the Benteng came at what had been set aside of your reward. Excuse me, what? You'll still get paid, I promise you that. It just won't be enough to retire on. Nothing I can do about that, just the way it has to be. Yeah, I'm sure it is. We never should have trusted. As for you, Ranneko, you're a different story. I've got something better than money for you. Keep talking. I can get your sin restored. Duncan's too. I can give you your old lives back. Holy shit. That's right. Imagine the doors that'll open for you. You can return to Seattle and pretend none of this ever happened. Hell, you can do what you want and do it completely above board. What I'm offering you is the freedom to make your own choices again. Same freedom that Crate and Josephine Sang and Kindly Cheng took from you. Anyway, just wanted you to know that's what's on the line before we head out to Taipo. I'm gonna get my kit ready. I recommend you do the same. Okay. I'm on it. Let's finish this. Oh, and I can't promise we'll come back to the Benteng after this, so take in the sights now. It might be the last chance you get. Got it. I'll see you at the boat. And, Ranneko, your bus is rocked. That Kong you took from Eddie Pang got broken in the ruin. I found it in about 50 pieces. It's in the wastebasket on my desk if you still want it. Can't imagine it's worth anything anymore. Sorry about that. Well, this presents us with somewhat of a conundrum, my friend. If this payment goes through, your shadow running days are over. With a sin, you would be a liability. You could perhaps remain in Hawaii, but you'd need to find a different line of work. A difficult decision. I'll put some thought into it. See that you do. For now, we have a job to prepare for. Kindly Cheng wishes us to complete this task, and so we will, payday or no. This conspiracy could pose a threat to the Yellow Lotus, and we cannot say with certainty whether it does or does not until we enter that warehouse in Taipo. Yep, you're right. Let's get ready. We got a secure facility to raid. I'm just assuming we don't have any other jobs. Yeah. None here. We could potentially get some. I think we should chat with Duncan and the rest of the crew. And then basically get on with it. Okay, when you enter the room, you find Duncan's back to you, his head leaned up against the wall. Around him are a few new dents, seems he's been venting. He hears you and turns around, a small red spot still on his forehead where it was resting, and a scowl so large it practically covers the bottom of his face. Well, that was a clusterfuck. I suppose I shouldn't be surprised. Always seems to turn out this way, doesn't it? Someone stabs us in the back. I guess that's a fact of life in the shadows. Yeah, we always seem to get by, though. Get by is a generous way of putting it. We're treated like trash. We get no respect. Back in the Barrens, I made a life for myself. I was a cop. Feels like a punch in the gut when I'm reminded of how far I've fallen from that. I know it's hard, but what else can we do? Let's go and pull yourself together. We're still here, we're still alive, and that's all that matters. You're starting to sound like the old man, you know that? That little speech was vintage Raymond Black. As much as I hated his pep talk. They always seem to help. What did you think of last run? Lamb, that fucking traitor. For all the seniors inspectors planning and big promises, this task force ended up getting boned just as badly as we do by our own clients. Leaking information, switching sides, raising the stakes. I know that as runners, it's us versus everyone else, but at times like this, it's when I really feel it. We might have lost our advantage, but that's never stopped us before. Yeah, and it won't stop us now. I just need to vent. Thanks for listening, Ryan. We're balls deep in this now, no way out. Alright. That's that. There's Duncan. Izzy! Oh. I was really hoping to get this done tonight, but it just keeps going. Which is good, but also bad. Like, I actually do need to get it done, ideally this week, so I can do something else next week. You sense a change in the environment immediately upon entering the room. Seconds later it hits you. It's quiet in here. The usual drone of beeps, hums, and fans that we are literally hearing in the soundtrack right now are conspicuously absent. Isabel leans up against a steel table, picking apart what looks like glass from a warp circuit board. Her profile is illuminated by a blue-green glow of the screen beside her. So, it all comes down to this. Looks like it. You ready? Ready as I'll ever be. Try your best not to die, Ranneko. Well. All this time together and you think you're going to kick it now? You haven't learned a thing. I die on my terms. History would tend to agree. Point taken, Ranneko. Got any plans after we finish off Crate? Definitely. Got plenty of upgrades I need to perform on Octopus. Gonna try converting her to a mineral oil cooling system. It's a new hotness on the boards. Wow, mineral oil cooling is back again? Weird. Mineral oil? How does it even work? Imagine a computer and a fish tank. Now imagine that fish tank is filled with non-conductive, easily cooled mineral oil. Add bubbles and lights. Achieve victory. Well, best of luck with that then. What did you think of the last run? I wasn't there. I was sitting on the boat, tooling around on the Octopus and wishing we were still docked in Hayway. That's pretty much what I thought. Yep. Fair enough. Hey, Gobbet. You enter Gobbet's cabin to find her gulping something from a chipped plastic mug. As the mug's contents slush and churn, a sharp antiseptic note stings her nostrils. She glances up from her drink and locks eyes with you. The pirates make this. I think it's a kind of whiskey. I don't know what they make it from, but it tastes like salty turpentine. Why are you drinking it? Because I needed a drink, and this stuff kicks like a mule. I mean, it's definitely swill, but it's powerful swill. You want some? Oh, no thanks. I prefer my terps without salt. She shrugs and tosses back the remaining liquid. A few seconds later, a fit of barking coughs shakes her chest, and her eyes begin to water. She rubs at them with her knuckles, gasping for air. Oh, that was a mistake. I'm dizzy. My tongue feels like I dipped it in furniture wax and there are crickets chirping in my brain. That's nice. Do you need me to get a medic? I'll be fine. Rat can eat anything, drink anything as long as it'll make me stronger. Now, you aren't here to drink with me, so what do you want? I should be out for a little chip-chat before I keel over. What do you think of the ship? It's a tricked-out barge that doesn't go anywhere. Makes it a glorified raft. Thinking back to the last raft we spent a lot of time on. Sinking ship. Thinking of the shit that went down there. Remember the smell of the killing pit? The disease-ridden rad monsters that tried to eat us? That isn't something you forget, Gubbit. Yeah, well then you already know the answer to your question. It's not like I don't appreciate what the pirates are doing for us. Hell, kinda like some of them. They're a fun group. I just prefer to hang out on dry ground, is all. Anyway, what about you? How are you enjoying the pirate's life? It's a temporary fix for a bad situation. I'm at peace with that. Sounds like we're on the same page, more or less. Let's try to make it as temporary fix as possible now. I don't want to have to spend any more time out here than I have to. Anyway, let's talk about something else. What do you think of the last run? Well, we got some answers and we didn't get killed. That's something. Can't say I'm thrilled about being betrayed like we were, or hunted down, or any of that. But I guess that beats being shot. If there's a silver lining to be found here, I guess it's that we know where we're going next. Granted, don't know what we'll find when we get there, but we got a destination. That's better than nothing. Anyway, that's it. Bye. Alright, now, oh wait, actually, can we get on Shadowlands? Anything interesting? Still looking for a milk run, and wouldn't taking on your Dallas jobs make this milk run a bit too milky? For this team, no, just this once. I know this sounds crazy, so hear me out. I want to go on a run where half the team doesn't get riddled with bullets, dissolved in acid, or fed into a giant meat grinder. Call me crazy, but it'd be a nice change of pace. Hey SJ, I got a mission that could probably throw you away. It requires some discreet sewer dredging from below a knight-errant facility. Security should be lax, and the stories about awakened crocodiles are probably just urban legends. You want in? Yes, perfect. GC, don't think our partnership's gonna work out. Nice. And Pinky Swear, trying to find them, freaking out over robo ants. Yeah, about that haiku stalking. You got something? Spit it out. Well, it wasn't Jibot or Codex or whatever Matrix Rumor Mill seems to believe. Jackie, as in with a J. I have a sinking feeling I know what you're about to tell me. Yeah, it was me. After Pinker and I split up, Pinky never changed the door codes. When I figured out, I thought I'd, play a harmless prank. You got funny definitions of harmless. She's probably in the middle of a psychotic break running through the hills to escape a bunch of imaginary poetry ants. Well, if she's gone, we could raid her apartment. She's got loads of cool gear, and she was probably too panicking to change the codes. Again. Fuck it, count me in. Rude, but nice. Okay. Now, what else we got? Oh wait, Gaichu and Rakta, my friend. Welcome back. Was there anything else you needed? How are you enjoying here? I rather like it. She's a lovely old vessel, well suited to her role as a floating fortress. And you? Are you enjoying our new, if temporary, home? Well, she's well armed, I'll give her that. As long as she keeps the HKPF at bay, I'm happy to be here. The police wouldn't dare venture anywhere near this ship. What is our value compared to a patrol boat in the lives of her crew? Too much risk for too little gain. They will not come here for us. The last run? We have a lead and one step closer to be done with this foolishness. These are positive things, I should think. Lamb's betrayal was aggravating, but not surprising. Only a fool would trust anyone on this task force. They all suckle from the corporate seat. Still, our hit on the Tiger's Den was ultimately positive, and now we're lashed to a pirate ship, enjoying the swell of the waves and the smell of salt in the air. A rather large improvement by anyone's standards. Alright, that's it. And a quick chat with Gaichu, so they've just got very little to say, but a little bit. Alrighty. Gaichu is seated cross-legged on the floor of his cabin, his swords unsheathed in front of him. An array of tools rest nearby, and the air is thick with the scent of clove oil. The tools include a stack of small paper squares, several stones, a tiny metal pick, and a high-tech vice grip of some sort. He raises a hand in greeting as you enter. "Pardon me if I do not stand, Ranneko. Fine as these swords may be, they require as much maintenance as any other weapon. Burrs to be sanded out, dents to be reformed, etc. The soldier here does the blades no favors. Please make yourself at home." "What's a vice grip for?" "It's a diamond coating rebonder. It cannot replicate the die coat process that covers the blades, but it can patch spots where the diamond edge coating has worn away or become rough. The materials are rather expensive, as you may guess. Now what may I do for you? What did you think of the last run?" Nothing, because I wasn't done it, you idiot." "Okay, cool. All sorted then. Well, let's get out of here and then head to Tai Po. There is Jomo. So let's save the game and go to Tai Po.